Golden Gate Bridge, 3 protesters have climbed up the suspension cables of the bridge, part of an advanced protest to the Olympic torch relay, unfurled 2 banners, as you can see there, a freetibet.org organization, where the banners say Free Tibet 08, One World, One Dream. Simon, stand by for a second. I just want to give a little background of what happened over the weekend. You know, this comes in advance of the torch coming to the Bay Area, the relay on Wednesday. But take a look at this. This is Paris. The torch had to be snuffed out and rushed onto a bus at least 5 times because of demonstrations against China's human rights record. Eventually, police had to call off the final section of the relay. At least 24 people were arrested. Not to say that that's going to happen here. It's just giving some background as to what's been going on during this Olympic torch relay. And again, it's going to arrive here, I believe, at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then the relay starts in San Francisco. Was there ever a heads up, anyone talking down there, police or security, that this was going to happen today, or any advance notice that we could have some protests today?
No one has said anything of that sort. I think really the big focus has always been on when the torch finally gets here and the run goes down the Embarcadero. That's what, in my covering this story up until now, that's where the focus has been. But you know, you just know that if the whole point is to get people to hear your protest and to hear your message, I mean, the picture that you got from the chopper, I mean, certainly you can't get a more, I'm trying to think of what the word is, you can't get an image that would turn everyone's head. I mean, this is, they have certainly succeeded in getting their protest message out, without a doubt.
It's certainly attention grabbing. I don't know if we're able to zoom in a little bit closer. We have on these protesters that have climbed up there. You know, they're wearing T-shirts. Looks like they've got their gear, again, the suitcase. Not sure exactly who they are. We're learning that they're possibly from the freetibet.org group, which was established in 1987. Apparently a UK-based group, and one of them there holding the Tibetan flag. And then it took them a good 45 minutes, I'd say, I don't know, Simon, you can double check that, to unfurl that banner. And then we saw what it reads there: One World, One Dream, freetibet.org. Again, before the torch comes here. So you can see them. I wonder how long they're going to stay up there.
Again, that's a big question, and we have said repeatedly before, Juliet, the whole idea is safety now. So the idea of keeping them from getting up there is an opportunity that was missed. So now that they're there, what's the point of risking somebody falling and maybe falling all the way down into the water? So it looks like a careful plan. The Golden Gate Bridge crews have basically unrolled a steel cable all the way back to not the southern anchorage, but the large cement post that goes down into the water on the southern side. So it's a good, 70 yards. We've got one Golden Gate Bridge district official actually who's climbing up the big thick cable, the big arching cable.
In San Francisco, we feel that this is completely atrocious, and that as long as they continue to commit these human rights abuses in Tibet, we cannot support the Olympics in China or the torch in San Francisco.
Yangshen, how long has this been organized, this action, and who are these 3 people up there?
Cable parallel to that?
The supporters worldwide have been, conducting campaigns for months now, and have been working to draw attention to the human rights abuses in Tibet and to try and intercept China's lives, promoting this image of power and of dominance in the world, when in reality Tibetans have no basic human rights and are fighting for their basic freedom.
Okay, so we actually had chopper shots. We're looking at exactly what's going on, and we see the activists on the Golden Gate Bridge. Yangshen, who exactly are they? Are they with Students for Free Tibet? Who are these 3 men, these 3 protesters right now that we're looking at? Who are they?
Students for Free Tibet and longtime supporters of Tibet. One of them is, a few of them are from the place and are local, and a couple are from outside, and they're doing this action and taking this risk because they recognize how desperate the situation is in Tibet right now, and because they know that this is our, prime opportunity and one of our few chances to really draw attention to the human rights in Tibet.
Obviously, they have to be professional climbers. I mean, what is their background? Because this is extremely risky.
They're experienced in climbing, and once again, this is a risk they were willing to take, and they are willing to be arrested because they know this is one of the few opportunities to really get the message out to the rest of the world that San Francisco is a city that stands for human rights and for freedom, and that we will not we will not allow China to continue these human rights abuses without going unchallenged.
Now, Yangshan, the Dalai Lama has called for nonviolent protests. Will you abide by that? Are we going to see that in the next couple of days? Peaceful protests?
Yes, Students for a Free Tibet and Tibet movement has always, has been a long time nonviolent movement. That's one of our main values, and we will do what it takes to get our message out there. But our priority is also nonviolence and safety. Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be all over the city, loud and colorful, to protest the Olympic torch.
You know, we've received, or we put in calls to the Chinese consulate in San Francisco. We are waiting for comment there, and in the past, Yangshan, if you're still with me, China says politics should not be part of the Olympics. Can you comment on that?
I think it's clear that China has made these games political from the very start. One of the conditions of even hosting the Olympics was that their human rights record would improve, and as we've seen, it's only gotten worse. So we feel that the IOC must hold them accountable, that the world community must also hold China accountable for their continued and deteriorating human rights abuses in Tibet and in the rest of China. And we also feel that, by taking the torch through Tibet, China is making an overtly political decision to try and assert their dominance over Tibetans and find an excuse to further their crackdown on Tibetans. So it's not us that's making these games political. China has made them political from the start.
Well, from what we've seen, obviously, this is an organized movement, a lot of thought going into this.
I have been speaking by phone with some of the folks who are with that group, Students for a Free Tibet, who claim responsibility for this. And what they're telling me this morning is that at least two of the people who are up on those suspension supports there have cell phones with them, and they're in contact with them, and they're actually trying to get in contact with the media this morning, so that's certainly some information we're trying to work on right now, is getting in touch with those people who are up there. But that's pretty much it. We all are also seeing, if Alan can pan out on the water, when we first arrived there was just one Coast Guard boat out there. Now it looks like the San Francisco Police Department also has a boat on the water. Most of the boats are staying away, although it looks like the ferry and the tour boats are going under the bridge doing their normal circle and coming back. So pretty much everything as normal on that end of it in terms of the boat traffic. But again, a lot of law enforcement out here just sort of looking up on the span, taking a look at what's going on. A lot of folks out here at Fort Point as well. A lot of folks with camera just keeping an eye on this very unusual spectacle. And this is pretty much how it's been for at least the last 30, 40 minutes. Just these three folks on the bridge with their banners. So again, we're hoping to get in touch with some of the people who are apparently on the bridge there with their cell phones, and we'll try to bring you that as soon as we can.
So we're going to do it right now, in fact, Christy. I thank you. Stay there live on the scene. I believe we're joined by phone. Is this Laurel Sutherland?
Yes, it is.
And wave to me, will you? Are you the guy on the bridge right now?
Yeah, I'm next to the voting flag, under the Free Tibet sign.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing the best I can to try to call the attention of the world to what's happening in Tibet right now, to what the Chinese government is doing inside of Tibet. Right now, they're trying to use the Olympic torch as this political tool to gain the legitimacy for their military occupation, and we're here to make sure that the world is not fooled by their propaganda.
Well, now you're using the Golden Gate Bridge to spread your own right now. Tell me how you went about this. When did you plan to do this?
Well, I was arrested in Tibet a year ago, and the day that I was released to Nepal, I heard that San Francisco was going to be the only stop in North America for the torch. So right then, I knew that we were going to have to do something pretty big.
What about your concern for public safety right now?
We are taking every precaution. We are completely safe and secure in what we are doing, and everyone around us is as well. This is a make or break moment for the Tibetan people. It's a global crisis, and this Wednesday, China is bringing their torch to this city, and we need to make sure that they are not allowed to use this symbol of international unity as a tool to gain approval for what they're doing in Tibet. So